I want you to take a moment and list the feelings that come to mind when you think about learning science in high school. So, what sort of things did you come up with? For most students, the instinct is a negative response. Is it boredom? Do you struggle to pay attention in class? Is it frustration? Does it feel like no one is actually explaining things to you, but merely telling you facts? Is it anxiety? Do you feel unsure when you think about the mountain of theory that you have to learn and be ready to apply in an exam? These are the negative responses that come to mind, and yet students still persist and decide to study science. So tell me, why are you studying science? Are you aiming for a good ATAR? Did you hear that the sciences were high-scaling subjects? Are you just copying what everyone else is doing? I'm here to tell you that the way you have been taught to think about learning is actually holding you back. In fact, it is part of a larger misconception that plagues so many other aspects of our lives. It is the belief that the only way to move forward is through suffering and hardships. Yes, these things are often inevitable, but they are not something we should be happy to endure. They should not be something that we resign ourselves to, and they should not be something that we should ever allow anyone else or any system to force upon us. In the context of science education, it is the idea that all of these negative feelings that we talked about earlier are normal. That it is normal to be uninterested in class. It is normal to not understand the theory. That it is normal to be overwhelmed and feel underprepared for your assessments. No, I think this way of thinking is holding you back. I used to think the same way when I was a student, and it was only through luck that I was given an opportunity outside of my schooling in which I could see another way. It was only through this opportunity that I experienced teaching that was so different to anything else I had ever seen at school before. I saw what it could be like when learning was not just a chore, but could be a fulfilling journey. Explanations were connected to common sense, related to the real world, and adapted to the experiences of the student. Suddenly, even the hardest concepts, with the right approach, were reduced to mere hurdles, in which my fear of failure was replaced by excitement at the future accomplishment that I could achieve. When I first realized this, I tried to share my epiphany with my classmates at school. For the first time, I could finally see how the environment that we were in only caused frustration and anxiety and did nothing to help us learn or develop. But unfortunately, I was a student as well. I didn't fully understand what was right or wrong with how we were learning, and I didn't know how to explain myself. It was only when I graduated high school that I decided to fully commit to exploring this new way of learning and teaching. I entered the science tutoring industry, but with very different goals to anyone else in the business. I knew that I had a lot to learn if I could become someone who could teach his students properly. And luckily, all of my experiences since then have only strengthened my conviction and given me a clearer vision of what needs to change. What started out as a little epiphany from high school has since evolved into an entire theoretical framework that I have created as a guide for what a real science education could be. A real education in which students could achieve amazing results, as well as truly understand the science, and achieve all of this under a healthy workload. It is this framework, or philosophy, that I have used to unite an elite team of like-minded teachers, and has become the very foundation on which Atlas has been built upon. To the students watching this now, I hope that I've convinced you that Atlas can be something different to others in the coaching industry. I know that you'll need a lot more to be convinced, but all I need is a chance. Because at Atlas, we have something that we want to fight for. We have something that we want to prove, and we have so much that we want to teach you.